absolutely tremendous.
Exactly.
And so the challenge is going to be with the other players. It's an easy pick, I think, to pick Nakamura. But we'll see. At least we know we'll either all be right or all be wrong.
That's it. That's it.
So nobody will be able to lord over anyone, though. God, don't pick me. Don't pick me first, Nick.
No,
I'll try to.
You were the trendsetter, and there we have this wonderful shot of a 5-time world champion, this one of Anand. At the opening ceremony, Maurice was lauding the virtues of this man, and as he said, 5-time world champion, I'm thinking he's won the world championship in rapid, he's won the world championship in blitz. I think he was a world junior champion. You might need 2 hands to count all of his world championship titles. Vishy Anand, dangerous wherever, whenever, any type of format of chess. He is remarkable.
The challenge, though, for Vishy is that he's inconsistent.
Yes.
So there are times when he plays brilliantly and he's able to really show his top style as he did in the past. But then there are times when he really shocks us and plays some howlers, frankly.
Right.
And he's just disappointed in himself because he knows the kind of quality chess he's played for decades now. And also, of course, there's the issue of fatigue. He's the oldest player in the field, and he's almost always going to be that, no matter what. But he's shown he's still a top 10 player. Right. And he loves the game, and he wants to compete, and he's shown us some incredible flights of genius that you look at and say, oh, my God, did he conceive of that idea? What a game. Can he keep it up throughout an entire competition against these young guns who are no longer afraid of him? They might have read about it, the great Vishy Anand, but they're not afraid of him right now. And it's up to him to really prove in individual contests that he can stay the course throughout an entire tournament.
And speaking of a young gun, I remember when Hikaru Nakamura first getting into the elite, he always scored very well in classical chess against Vishy Anand.
That's right.
And obviously that's a key matchup here as, again, Hikaru Nakamura in second place, currently in the Grand Chess Tour standings, wants to cement his second place as he's in a, Joko piano position. Let's get into the games.
Yeah, that's right.
And,
there's so many interesting ones. There's a couple of queen swaps I can't wait to ask you about. But let's get started with Wesley So versus Shaq. Because
sure.
We've got an opening here that's kind of one that you know.
Nice imbalances going on in this position. It started from a very slow Berlin. Thank you. Knight f6. Berlin defense. d3. Bishop c5 castles. Allowing this trade of knight. I've always thought that this position is actually pretty balanced. And we got to this position. Again, looks very, very even, almost a mirror of the position. When Hikaru decided to break out with this advanced move, d6, d5, was it premature? The reason I ask that question is when you get to the current position after this move, f2, f3, you start to see a lot of things in White's favor. In the first place, this knight on e3 and this bishop on b3 are both putting pressure on the d5 pawn. So any trade of pawns simply encourages White to further increase his pressure on the d5 pawn. Notice that this knight is ready to jump to f5, and White has a very fluid looking attack. Now, Black could throw in Queen
we do have
D.
a couple moves. That happened.
We do. What happened?
Queen d6 happened, and then
Queen d6 now?
No, Queen d6 after f3.
Oh, that's
right after f3, yes.
Right, Queen d6.
And then the move g3.
Right.
Quickly played in response, was Anand's quick response, and it now moves back on Nakamura, and this one looks like it's going to get quite interesting, but meanwhile, back to that Shaq game, because Shaq just put a little twist in the position. What do you think of this bishop c5 move, Maurice?
Very unusual decision by him. Talking about knights, by the way, just importantly, this g3 move shut down this position, the one we're talking about now, Anand versus Nakamura.
g3.
G3 said, I don't know what you're doing over there, but it's nothing. No attack. Now I'm attacking your center. And here, Naka played castles.
Right.
And then fe4, de4, and knight to f5.
Yeah.
And that knight planted on a very nice square. If you capture it, the rook comes up, the two bishops will be a factor. Most importantly, this bishop will be the dominant feature because you'll not have an opposing bishop to counter it. And you can play bishop f4 and shut all this down completely. This e-pawn is not going anywhere anytime soon. White's kind of happy here. Anand showing that
you're
always going to have to suffer against a player like him. And
that was my impression as well. And I don't think he could live with that knight on f5.
He took.
Hikaru whacked it off and just played rook e8. And now we're up to date. But this is an imbalance, the majorities, right? 4 versus 4, 4 versus 2, 4 versus 2. But I like the two bishops.
I'm as concerned, not so much even the two bishops. Yes, the two bishops. Bishop e3 looks very solid. This pawn goes nowhere. The thing I'm most worried about is this guy.
Exactly.
This knight on f6 looks like it's not going anywhere ever. Where do you put it? How do you park it anywhere? It's just sitting there. And how do you improve the position as black if you cannot make any moves?
Right.
I mean, what are you going to do? The knight, I can't see which path it goes on. It could start swing. Where does it go? How do we maneuver the way you did in the game with Shakriar, knight d8 into the game? How does this knight go anywhere? We see White's moves. Queen over, rook doubling, sacrifice is going to be threatened. This bishop is a monster beyond compare, as f7 is going to be weak forever. This position is huge for White. I mean, and oh yeah, you mentioned the thing about the majority and the path deep pawn that's going to be screaming down the board. This is Anand's bread and butter kind of position. White is much better here.
How about this?
And bishop e3 was played. Naka searching now for a move.
How about this move? G6. I got to do something. Kick the rook for a moment.
Hold the phone, because your queen is slightly overworked. Bishop f4 is a problem.
Wait a second.
Queen a6.
I can take on
Queen a6. Just go away.
Are you giving up the two pieces here?
Yeah, because I was thinking if you were to take on f6 and take on c7, I get e3. That shuts me down.
We've got some big news in the Shaq game. I was mentioning that the b7 pawn was not a pawn we wanted.
To you, Maurice.
One less double-edged position is Vishy's game. That is an absolute disaster for Nakamura. And we're seeing the leaders going down as Nakamura is about to lose his game if Vishy plays the right way. And also Wesley so in deep trouble. That's numbers 1 and 2 in the tournament. Karyakin's draw is looking pretty good right now as he's number 3. But look what he did in this position. He played the move h5 here, did Nakamura. Remember we talked about how is this knight going to get in the game? Now he said, I'm going to put it on g4. I need to lift this blockader. But Vishy said, I'm having none of it after this move. Bishop f4, queen d7. Rook takes f6. You're never bringing your knight into the game. Gf6. Bishop takes on c7. Queen c7. And then queen takes on h5. Just simply wrecking this side of the board completely with threats like queen g6. Eventually rook f1. Big trouble for black. He played the move e3, ignoring everything happening to him on this side of the board. His pawns are going to drop. Queen check. Grab this with check. But this e-pawn is trying to create some kind of noise. This is still looking fantastic for White. White can't lose the game, period.
No, he's got a perpetual check.
He's got a perpetual. Is he got enough? Does he have enough to win? Looks like a very, very dangerous position for black for sure.
And a game that's going to go down to the absolute wire, guys, is this castles on opposite sides contest between Alexander Grishuk and Fabiano Caruana, where both of them have...
And he's basically... and we have a result. We have our first victory in...
Great pick, guys.
St. Louis.
Nakamura. All 3 of them.
You jinxed us.
We picked them for the Blitz, though.
Oh, we did.
Yeah, it's not the Rapids.
I said Wesley the Rapids. But wow, let's take a quick look. Well, maybe we should stay with the Fabiano game. But that Vishy, we said, when he's in his zone and he's playing smooth, good chess, he is capable of taking anyone down. This is the final position of that game where Hikaru did lose. Now, what's going on in that Wesley So game?
I will point out just
yes, please.
The technique that was played in this game was really nice. What did he play? It was here after e3. He showed how you do it. Queen g6 check. First pick this guy off. Then after king to g8, let's maneuver again. Let's get the queen to the nice spot. And now bishop to c2. Hello, we got a mate threat alert. You must push your pawn to f5. Bishop back to b3 check. Now you have to gift us back the exchange. And now let's curtail your little pawn here. And after queen e7, now let's talk endgame. Simple trades. Sorry, buddy. King to G2. Up 2 pawns already. King F3 is going to be a 3rd pawn. Easy win. Nakamura had to resign this position.
Wow, a smooth victory indeed.
And he often wins instructive games, and he wins them in style. Definitely a brilliant one today. Vishy, this first round was all you could have asked for.
Yes, definitely. I was a bit surprised by D5 because I thought this is exactly what I could do with F3. It's not like I checked it. I'd actually spent more time checking the pits, which he had played a lot against me. But I thought my position, I liked my position after F3. Whatever the objective evaluation, I liked the structure for white. And I thought Queen D6 was a mistake. Maybe he just has to play Bishop E6, allow Bishop A4 check, and, come what may.
Were you, when you got this opportunity to sacrifice in F6, did you see it all coming? Or did you just go on feel that this must be fantastic?
I've been dying to sack on F6 for a while already. The other idea was not even to play Knight F5, but to go Queen E2, Bishop D2, Rook F2, and really hammer in. But I couldn't make that work because he plays Bishop H3. So I could have played Bishop F4 instead of Bishop E3. And if Queen D7, then I take on F6 and I go Bishop H6. So the ideas are in the position. But I went Bishop E3 thinking, well, let's not try to force matters. And then he played H5, and after that it was too good to pass up.
The leaders, two top leaders lost. Wesley So also went down. It's Mamedirov. We talk about the strength of tournaments. Is it just the case it's impossible to keep players down or to keep running away with events because everybody here is so strong?
I would like to think so, but it's too much to draw conclusions on one round. Let's see how Wesley and Hikaru play in the remaining 2 games.
Well, we always draw conclusions very quickly.
Well,
commentator's job.
That's the fun part of it. So.
Final question for you. You weren't in a great standing in the Grand Chess Tour right now. What's your motivation for the next 2 tournaments, this one and the Singfield Cup?
Well, my motivation for playing well happily coincides with, I can't do well here without improving my position in the Grand Tour. So it dovetails nicely. Right now, of course, it's not like I'm thinking of the tour results because I'm very far off the pace. Let me just try and play a good tournament here.
Fantastic. Well, we enjoy your games as always, and fantastic game today. Congratulations.
Thanks.